The next Bitcoin breakout will be so much bigger, and yes, like we have always seen here, these consolidation phases is something very normal for Bitcoin. So on today's update video, I'm gonna be exactly discuss my price targets. I'm gonna be talking about Bitcoin, what is currently happening on the imminent short term, about the new CME gap which we are currently creating above us right now, the Bitcoin ETF, and much more important information about altcoins, about trading opportunities, and much more. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1000 likes on today's update video. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. So first of all, discussing the imminent short term, Bitcoin saw a slight little bounce here from the lower side. It moved up with 16 consecutive green candles in a row here. This is historically one of the most consecutive 1 hour candles Bitcoin has ever seen in history, after having of course such a significant dump from the fact that potentially the US government sold off 6.5 billion US dollars. So yeah, very much has happened in the past 48 to 72 hours, but right now it is weekend again here. We're probably going to see some less crazy price action. And yes, over the course of this weekend again, we're creating another CME gap, and this time around 94,715 US dollars. So this is the CME gap I'm going to be closely paying attention towards, and just like all the previous CME gaps, all these previous occasions, I can zoom out, can talk about every single of them, guys. Like 99% of the time, whenever Bitcoin, of course, goes off from its CME price here, so this time around it's $94,715, but if we trade significantly below it on the end of the Sunday, we're likely, like 99% of the times, on the Monday or on the Tuesday going to come back towards this price here, and also if we're trading above it, exactly the same will happen. So yeah, this is what we're expecting. Either Bitcoin is going to trade around this price on the end of the Sunday, or either we're going to fill it up on the Monday or potentially on the Tuesday or even Wednesday. So this is what happens 99% of the times here, so this is also the expectation we will be having for this weekend. And yes, the more Bitcoin is going to drop or potentially pump, the more hard it's probably going to come down at the end of the week. And yeah, it's almost a certainty this will be happening, but sometimes it doesn't get filled up here. There are only 2 or 3 weeks in history that have not been filled up here. But that is why I say 99% of the times. So Bitcoin here right now is of course creating first a major downtrend. Now it's starting to create an uptrend again here, where we of course are creating higher highs together with higher lows here. So Bitcoin is slightly bouncing back towards the upside, seeing some momentum of strength and some indication of strength returning in the market right now here. And yes, on the bigger things of it all, we're right now consolidating for exactly 60 days in this region right now here, exactly bouncing from the level I of course warned everyone for, that this was of course a major level of support for Bitcoin, where you can also clearly see from previous occasions Bitcoin has bounced from many times in a row here. And I do want to be stating here that whenever we do potentially break below this level, then we're going to be quite screwed, and probably the next big support is going to be laying around 86,000 US dollars, which is the low of this previous support box right here. And if we break below that level, yeah, to be very honest, then the next major support for Bitcoin is going to be 72,000 US dollars, which is of course quite a long way down here from off that 87,000 US dollar level. So yeah, this is very important to understand for Bitcoin right now, how we're currently creating the price action and how we're currently looking. But of course, in history, Bitcoin has always created many of these fake outs before it is really moving up again here. So I won't be surprised that we are going to see a slight little fake out below this level before then pushing up higher again here. But ultimately, first we were creating here a falling wedge, and now I can start to see that potentially a new falling wedge pattern will be getting emerged on the Bitcoin price action. You can see a downward sloping resistance line from the top side getting created, a downward sloping support line as well here. So maybe Bitcoin is going to create a new falling wedge pattern on the market right now here. But one thing is for certain, and that is that we are currently creating a symmetrical triangle pattern right now here. And if I'm going to be looking at the price targets of this exact pattern, you're going to be, of course, measuring it from the previous move towards the upside, because a symmetrical triangle is basically a typical continuation pattern. And since we're right now just consolidating after a major rally higher, it is likely to expect a continuation of the trend whenever we see a breakout of the continuation pattern. And of course, a breakout will be whenever we break the downward sloping resist line. But of course, if we break the upper sloping support line, we're likely just going to be moving a little bit lower, just like I stated earlier in the video. But if we do manage to be breaking above the downward sloping resist line, we're going to be heading higher. And the price target for such a breakout is quite massive, because you're going to be measuring it from this low to high. And if you're going to be doing so, you're going to come at this target. And if you're then going to place it on the breakout, of course, we're not quite sure where it is exactly going to be breaking out, but an estimation on where this is going to be breaking out, it will be bringing us up towards $155,000 US. So if this breakout really happens, and guys, if we're looking back at history on Bitcoin, Bitcoin has always created such consolidation phases, and always sooner or later we tend to be breaking outside of them. And whenever we do break outside of them, that is where the big moves come here. It's either up or downwards, guys, but currently we're consolidating, so we're either going to see a big leg towards the downside, and potentially this was the top, or we're going to be seeing another push higher for Bitcoin, which is, in my opinion, the more likelier scenario, since I do still believe that we're in the midst of this bull market situation for Bitcoin right now here. So I'm very excited for what is about to be happening next year. Honestly, in 9 days from now on, Trump will be taking office, and if he's really going to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the US government, it would ultimately be something extremely bullish for Bitcoin, and that could really send us much higher than we're currently already sitting. So also looking at the price action right now of Bitcoin, and of course looking at the ETF flows, yesterday BlackRock sold over $180 million worth of Bitcoin again here, with their second consecutive day of outflows basically. And that is of course quite bad here, since we do want to be seeing the buys coming in rather than the sells from the spot Bitcoin ETFs here. But now it's weekend, we're not going to see any buys here. Also on the Ethereum ETF, we did saw some slight little outflows, nothing too big here, but this is basically what is currently playing out here. Then on the weekly perspective on Bitcoin, we're seeing that this previous weekly resistance is now actually exactly flipping us into support here, which is, in my opinion, making myself quite bullish here, and I won't really be all too surprised to see a major bounce from off this range here, guys. I won't be surprised to be seeing that. And honestly, now everyone thinks I'm foolish, but in a couple weeks, probably everyone think, oh shit, I should have taken this opportunity because it looked so clean. And honestly, I do really think it also looks very clean. And in this bull market, and also in many previous bull markets, Bitcoin has always seen major crashes, and it's just something very normal to see shakeouts in a market like this here. And of course, the higher we're going to go here, the more shakeouts of course are going to be happening, because people are going to take some profits off the table, but at a certain point the sellers will be exhausted, and at that point we're going to see another push higher. And I really think we're going to come close towards that place right now again here. In terms of whenever I think the market is going to be topping out, if I'm looking at the previous cycles and compare them to each other, it would not make a lot of sense that we're going to be topping out right now here. But starting from midpoint of February onwards, we could start to say that, yeah, the bull market is potentially ending. But of course, as soon as I do see clear data that it is ending, I will let you know here on the channel, because then of course we're going to be exiting the market and potentially look at major short positions. So that is very important to understand right now here. But currently, if we're looking at the data and all the previous points we can see from the previous bull markets, it wouldn't make a lot of sense that we're going to be topping out right now here. And guys, and honestly, if you want to be having the opportunity to trade Bitcoin or any other altcoins right now, guys, there's a major opportunity to do so right now on Blofin. Honestly, make sure to first check it out if it's available in your region. But if it is, guys, there's currently an insane $100,000 deposit bonus, which you can currently claim if you run a sign-up account using that highest link description of today's video. If you sign up an account to Blofin using that link right there, guys, you will be able to get this insane 100k deposit bonus. You can use it to trade Bitcoin or any other insane altcoin they have listed, because they are listing altcoins one of the fastest of all them, these exchanges out there. So that is why I'm a big fan of this exchange here. But anyways, guys, check it out in the link description if it's available in your region. But continue to further in the video, we can see that currently Ethereum has really been lagging behind very heavily. And honestly, if we're going to be looking at all the previous data from the 4-year cycle, back in 2017 in January, we had plus 31%. Back in 2021, we saw plus 78%. And now in January, we're minus 3%. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really make all too much sense right now here. But really, historically speaking, January, after a halving year of Bitcoin, is one of the best months for altcoins, and especially for Ethereum. And yeah, honestly, the month is still long, still another 20 days here. But if history will be repeating, the end of the month of January will be extremely good here. And usually, to be clarify it, it is always the end of January and not the beginning of January, because till the January the 10th to 14th, we tend to see a big correction in the market before then seeing an upturn in the prices. So let's see how it's going to be playing out here. But still, I am very much convinced altcoin season is going to be taking place here. I mean, we can see currently on the Bitcoin dominance that we're having this exact timing compared to the previous cycles where altcoin season should be starting. We're seeing a topping structure. We're seeing basically the Bitcoin dominance giving us all kinds of signals that, of course, it is topping out right now here. We're seeing bearish crossovers. We're seeing super trends flip bearish. We see the lower high structure, the lower low structure, the break of trend structure. Everything is happening right now here. And honestly, I'm just very excited for what is about to be happening next right here. So don't forget to watch this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel right now here, because yeah, as the data is going to be developing, I will be keeping you guys exactly up to date about what I think is going to be happening next year. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching to our amazing new update video. If you did learn something from it, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.